Welcome to Moments of Good. I'm Debbie Pokornik, and I am here with my beautiful friend, Susan Hoskins. Hi, Susan.
Hello, Debbie.
Mm.
Hello, everyone.
So, today I want to talk about an email you and I exchanged, talking about being perfectly imperfect.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We
So,
did.
we did. And actually, we were talking about these shows. We were talking about the fact my microphone didn't work on the first number of episodes that we had recorded. So, whether or not we had to redo them.
Yes. And the
Go ahead.
and my lighting was terrible. I said I look like Elvira's grandmother.
Yes. Oh, I got a good laugh from that. I really did. You're
I'm so
beautiful. You're
glad.
beautiful, darling.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you,
Yes.
love.
Uh, but it
Yeah,
is,
and
it's,
and I was reminded. Oh, go
oh,
ahead,
go ahead. This
please.
is, this is us being perfectly
This
imperfect. You go for it.
exactly. I would love to because I did a voice from the heart video once on being perfectly imperfect, because when you do something like this, videos, audio, and you go, oh God, look at that. Oh God, oh look at that, or the light. Oh, and the beauty of it is, if this weren't the exact right time to get messages out,
Yes.
I might not be doing this because it might be like I might judge myself. I can't do this because I'm not perfect. And when I started doing this, I just gave up all that. It was like beautiful. I get to be perfectly imperfect just the way I am. And so even our first videos, they were perfectly imperfect, you know?
We didn't
So
air them all. Full
we know we
disclosure.
haven't.
We did not
Full
air them
disclosure.
all.
No, because a couple of them we really did need to pause and go, yeah, we could do that better. But it didn't stop us from deciding, oh, we're going to continue this. And we don't, I think we stop ourselves in life from doing so much if we think we can't do it perfectly. And what does that mean anyway? Perfectly.
Yes. Well, as you know, one of the interesting things for me, I have a fairly strong analytical mind,
Hmm.
because I had to teach myself that in order to excel. When I worked at the bank, I was almost fired actually from my first job with the
Hmm.
Royal, whoops, I won't say what bank.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, blank, blank.
Blank, blank.
But anyways, going on and being perfectly imperfect, I was working for a bank and I almost got fired from it. And so I had to learn how to bring up my organizational skills and to become very good at, planning and, and these are all masculine traits.
Right.
And I did that for a number of years. I did very well. Then I left that and went to university, and I did very well in university with those skills. And then I became a mom. And it's interesting how, since becoming a mom, my life has so many doors have opened and I've awakened in so many ways. But the biggest has been with the feminine side of me.
Ah, I
And
love
it's
that.
not like we all have feminine, we all have
Right.
masculine, not
Masculine.
negative, masculine
That's good.
in us. And it's important we know that and that it's
Mhm.
a dance between the two. So my point of all this is that when you and I first started doing this show, I was like, okay, I need to have ideas of what we're going to discuss because I would like to plan out my points,
Sure.
and spirit just kept saying, no,
No.
no. Just get on there and
Yeah.
share the real you, the authentic you, because that is the you that people will connect with.
Oh, I love that.
And so we come on each show not knowing really
Hmm.
what we're going to discuss, sometimes having a loose idea, but for the most part, not really knowing what we're going to share. And so I'd love it if you could take that and think about your own life.
Hmm.
What areas are you holding yourself back from really having fun, from
Right.
really just embracing the moment, all in the effort to look perfect or
Oh,
as good,
exactly.
as close to perfect as you possibly can?
Right. And we spend so much of our lives in what I call the theater of the mind, where I dwell often.
Uh-huh.
Um, and in that theater of the mind, that's where we judge ourselves as not being good enough, not being young enough, not being pretty enough, not being perfect enough. And the space you're talking about, where you allow yourself to be the real you, is in our heart.
Yes.
And when we can move from that land of little me, the theater of the mind, to our heart, that's where we become real.
Yes. So I've just been listening to The Untethered Soul.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get a free copy of it off of YouTube. And on YouTube, they're actually reading it. I don't know if you can also get the book off of there. I'm not sure how that would work, but for sure you can get the audio version. And it is totally echoing what we're talking about here. Not just that need for perfection, but that idea of moving out of the head and stopping listening to that conversation that is coming up in your
You're
head,
right.
some of which I usually refer to as your inner critic.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the untethered soul has given me a whole different way to look at it, because it's not just the inner critic, it's even us responding to the
Mm-hmm.
inner critic can become this dialogue. And then instead moving down to our heart and having our conversations all come from the heart. And that's not easy for a lot of us. We
Right.
feel very vulnerable. We're very scared of our heart getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
We're scared to put ourselves out there and possibly be rejected. And I'll just share this in The Untethered Soul. He's talking about how if you have a thorn sticking out of your arm, how do you deal with it? Because one
Mm-hmm.
way to deal with it is the way that a lot of us deal with our lives, and that is by figuring out ways to protect the thorn in your arm so it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't hurt you. So when you
Right.
go out, you have to have a way to cover it. When you sleep at night, you have to have a way to cover it. It's affecting where you go because someone might bump against it. And I think any one of us can, when we really think about that, we recognize, why wouldn't you
Ooh.
just get rid
Just
of the
pull it.
thorn?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to hurt, but just in
Yeah.
that moment. And that, I feel like, is a big piece of why we're so careful. We so want to be
Right.
about everything. And there's
You
no
know,
way to know
no.
about
And you
something.
know what's just coming to me too? The great equalizer of the time we're going through right now with COVID-19 is the fact that no matter who you are, what you do, what you've accomplished in life, we're all going through this together. It's a great equalizer.
Isn't that
And
amazing?
it is.
Yeah.
And none of us can be perfect. None of us can figure this out in our mind. And I think that's why, even though we're distancing and somewhat more isolated, we're making greater heart connections,
Yes.
because that's where we're coming from. So, in a way, what a blessed time this is to be able to dwell in our heart and to be the real
Absolutely.
us. Yeah.
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 It is amazing to me how all those pieces are coming together, you know.
Right.
And like, really, this is a beautiful time in a lot of
Of
ways.
ways. Yes.
So, with
Yes.
that said, this is our moment of good for today. And we hope you will take it and use it however it can fit into your life. Please feel free to share it to help us to spread the love. And we will be back again soon to share more moments of love with you. Moments of love, moments
Bye.
of good.
It's the
I'm just being
which is
perfectly
love.
imperfect today.
Imperfect.
And you know
And
what?
everybody
We're
have
not
a
redoing.
no.
Go ahead.
Everybody just enjoy your perfectly imperfect day.
Yes, please do. Mwah.
Mwah.